and welcome to our Gaia Blooming GPS. I am Mimi, and I'm here with the phone and Nicole, having a busy phone day. And we are going to pull some cards for this week. We've got some stuff happening this week, and we're going to start with Mercury retrograde. Mercury went retrograde this morning at 5:05 a.m. and it went retrograde at 1 degree Aquarius, but is going to spend most of its time retrograding in Capricorn. So it's so interesting because Aquarius does really stimulate our mind. So you may have felt your mind start racing, might be coming up with ideas. It's also connected to Mars right now in a square. But it's so interesting going retrograde in Capricorn because Capricorn is this earth sign of manifesting and structure. And I feel like the cards I pulled is so Aquarius Capricorn. I pulled We Are the World, I pulled Patience, and I pulled New Vision. And I feel like these three go so well together because I think we really are in the place of creating a new vision for the world. And I think sometimes it gets so frustrating because we have to own this patience, especially during Mercury retrograde. This is a time of taking it internal, taking those lessons internally. So have patience. I feel like these are such cards of hope that it's happening, but do your inner work. I love this card. This card, one of the things that came very strongly for me this year in 2016 was this Rumi verse that I read, basically that said, the benefit that an embryo gets from 9 months in the womb is the kind of benefit you will get when you give yourself 40 silent early mornings. Take that time to start birthing this new vision for the world. It starts within. It starts when you are honoring yourself. And we're really, between this retrograde and Jupiter retrograde happening later in this week, we're really having an opportunity to honor ourselves. So hold the vision of how you would like the world to be. Hold the vision of how you would like the world to connect, and do it for yourself. I'm pulling from Angel Therapy. It's so interesting. I pulled the Indigo card. It says the person you're inquiring about is an indigo, meaning a highly sensitive, natural-born leader. I feel like, honestly, if you're resonating with Nicole and I, chances are you are an indigo or a crystal or even a rainbow. And I think the lessons with this is, hey, we're really insensitive. Thank you, Mercury retrograde. We're really sensitive. And we did come here to change the world. But it happens through us honoring our process, honoring our sensitivities, honoring what we need in our lives. So recognize the sensitivity in you and recognize that you did come here to change the world, but it starts in you. Nicole?
So what I'm getting for this Mercury retrograde, I don't know where this is coming from, so I'm just going to read what's on the cards. Be careful of starting a new relationship in the next 3 weeks. I'm telling you. It's going to be based off of a projection that you're having in your mind or in your head. It's this dream where you think it's what you imagine yourself to have. But as soon as this Mercury retrograde goes away, you're going to see a really weird reality. And you're going to finally see beyond the illusion of what this relationship is going to be. So, so you're not, if you're wanting to start this relationship, you're not really listening to yourself. You're not allowing yourself to get quiet and seeing if it's really in your highest and greatest good. So what I would say is to do that, and you can date, but don't make commitments. Don't make agreements. Don't decide you guys are like being exclusive in the next 3 weeks. Give it this time and allow it to process out of this. And trust me, he or she will still be there if they really do love you after this Mercury retrograde, because you're going to see if it's real or not. Do not make it official. I'm telling you. Yeah. The other card I'm getting is the arts. And so you might still, and the projection might be from an old idea or an old relationship. So what you're going to want to do is listen to music, allow yourself to process, create something. Music will put you in a different vibration. So listen to the music that makes your soul feel like it's healing itself, or allow the music to be guidance for you. I love when God takes over my iPod. I'm like, I put on Pandora and I'm like, really? Next song, really? Next song, really? So allow yourself to listen to music, because you might be getting messages from that way. The music's very important. But like I said, just be patient. If they're really supposed to be your mate, they will be here past 3 weeks. I promise you.
Good advice. All right, so then we have the moon shifting into Sagittarius late tonight, early tomorrow morning, depending where you are. I pulled some interesting cards for this. You know, Sagittarius is an expansive vibration. But again, it's kind of reiterating the message of expansion through yourself. I pulled inner voice and aloneness. It's time to listen to the wisdom of your soul, the wisdom of your higher self. I, as a Sagittarius, really recognize the path of like, I'm going to take this class. I'm going to go to this class. I'm going to learn from this person. I'm going to learn from this person. And at some point, you have to be like, stop, wait, I've collected enough knowledge. Let me tune in. And I've been on my guides and my dad, last night, I sat everybody down at the round table. I was like, okay, Khufu, that's Dr. Wayne Dyer, Rumi. Look, I'm ready. I'm really willing to listen right now. I'm going to be very quiet over this next little period. Be ready to listen. You know, talk to me. I'm paying attention. So I really recommend that during this moon. Not to mention, you know, this really is the energy of the dark of the moon. We're building to the new moon happening later in this week. So it really is that time of quiet. That being said, the other card that I pulled from Rumi is clinging to the past. Or not Rumi, Osho. Mercury's retrograde.
Is there a Rumi deck? That would be awesome.
There is a Rumi deck. There's a Rumi tarot deck. My friend has it.
Oh, I have to look that. I gotta look that up.
It's pretty cool. But so this is the other thing, clinging to the past. And when you go within, you may find some of these old beliefs that are like popping up that you're like, oh my God, I think that, really? And it's the perfect time to release that from your consciousness, release that from your belief system. Mercury retrograde is an incredible time for going within. So from those cards, I got that. But from Angel Therapy, I got fairies. And it says you have strong bond with the fairies and your life purpose involves helping Mother Nature. I feel like this card is like, hey, tune into the nature spirits as well. When you're taking this alone time, when you're listening to your inner voice, call in the nature spirits. Be like, nature spirits, fairies, nymphs, tree nymphs. Do you have anything you want to share with me? And just see, you know, there's so much wisdom available to you that's not coming from the TV, that's not coming from books, that's not coming from the radio, that's not coming from magazines, newspapers, any of the things. Listen to yourself. Listen to nature. God, I love talking to the trees. They have so much to tell you. So tune in with this moon, with this dark moon. Get quiet and tune in. Nicole?
So each one of it's interesting how the cards are coming out, because I'm actually seeing massive stories here. When like that, the last one was about don't get into a relationship for the next 3 weeks. This one is saying there's a massive time with this moon in Sagittarius to reestablish friendships and bonds and know your worth. There's a lot of healing in this energy as well. So what I see is there is an ability. I have the medicine woman card. There's an ability to see where you are showing up and what your worth is. And you're the one that is putting the low self-esteem on yourself. You might want to blame other people or betrayal or an old friendship or something of this nature, but you have to really see how you are showing up. And if you see other people really showing up for themselves and they're in their power, try not to compare yourself as better or worse, but know what you hold, what gifts that you can participate into, and allowing their gifts to be their gifts and your gifts to be your gifts, and all the other people involved. I'm getting that there's probably 3 or 4 people involved with this collaboration that is looking to happen. And when you start seeing your self-esteem, or seeing yourself with higher self-esteem and with your own worth, what will happen is you will free yourself of being caged of isolation and allowing yourself to really express who you are and be in relationship with others. And the Sagittarius energy is telling you it is time to really see who you are, what you believe, and how that is going to relate to other people in the world. And that means the participation of friends, the participation of love, and the participation of humanity. You got to be careful of the mind going, well, mine's better than this, and mine's worse than this, or like better or worse, good or bad, right or wrong. You have to be careful of you nitpicking, your brain nitpicking yourself or other people. I also can see this because another card popped up with the true love is that is also what's keeping you away from relationships, is you either nitpicking yourself or nitpicking another person. So you're going to have to shift that within yourself, not shift the other person or the other people. Come back to you.
Yes, love that. All right, so we now have Jupiter going retrograde. Jupiter in Virgo. I think it's so interesting how Mercury is going to be retrograde in Capricorn, mostly through Capricorn, and Jupiter is retrograde in Virgo. And these are 2 strong earth energies. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see once both of these planets go direct, you know, how that kind of shifts our manifestation process. Again, retrograde, I was talking to somebody last night, retrograde is not bad. It's just a call to go in. It's a call to slow down. It's a call to come back to yourself. You know, we're always in this expansive outward motion. And when it's retrograde, it's like, okay, we're going to tune back in. We're going to expand this way. And so the cards I pulled for Jupiter retrograde actually are the control card, the innocence card, and the schizophrenia card. Very interesting. So Jupiter retrograde, which will be retrograde for like 5 months, all the way through like May 9th, I think I said. Jupiter retrograde is an opportunity to really come back to the messages of the body. And Jupiter in Virgo has been about that, about learning about the body. But this call, again, is about going within, listening to the consciousness, the wisdom of your body, the consciousness of your cells. And, you know, I was talking to Nicole beforehand about this, and I was like, you know, you could listen to Jillian Michaels, or you could, and be like, oh, she knows what she's doing. Look at her. She's hot. Or you could be like, oh, but that doesn't resonate with my body. And I think there's kind of that schizophrenia feeling with that, where your body's like, oh no, please no, please don't put her on. And then there's the other logical part of you is like, look at her, she knows what she's doing. And this card, I feel like it's like you can go with the controlled way. You know, that's how I need to do it. That's how the world does it. You know, we're in the new year. Everybody has their resolutions. I want to lose 1 million pounds, you know, all that kind of stuff. You could control yourself, or you can come back to your innocence. Come back to the master within. Come back to the ancient soul that you are. And remember this. Remember your innocence. Find a way that feels good to you. Find a way that's in alignment with your light. And let go of thinking you have to choose sides. The schizophrenia card always says, like, fall into the center, fall from your heart. And you know, it's so funny because the innocence card is the sun card, which is the card of the heart. Come back into your heart. Come back into the part of you that loves yourself and that can show up for yourself. And from, I pulled 2 interesting cards from Angel Therapy. One is release. It says, work with the Archangel Michael to let go of what no longer serves you or your purpose. Tune in to what you need to let go of, which may be these ideas, you know, Rumi, beyond the ideas of right doing and wrongdoing, there's a field, I'll meet you there. You may have to come back to that place when it comes to your body. The other card I pulled was Twin Flame. And it says the answer to your question involves a spiritually based romantic relationship. And I wasn't really sure how this had to do with it. I was like, I wonder if any of this stuff Nicole's pulling has to do with it. I'm sure it does. But what really came from me with this twin flame card is, again, we put this emphasis on the romance outside of ourselves, our partners outside of ourselves. And there's nobody who's a bigger partner for you than you are to yourself. Be your own twin flame. Honor yourself the way you would honor your twin flame. Honor your body in that way. Show up for yourself unconditionally in love. Taking Nicole's advice from the last card, knowing your worth. Show up for yourself. Stop focusing on this outer. I need a partner. I need my love. I need my twin flame. Come back to you. Nicole?
Well, before I start with my cards, I'm going to weigh in with the twin flame thing for just a moment, because in my experience with this whole twin flame label is a lot of it comes from projection of what they want, of what you want to see and what they want to see. And what happens is you romanticize this idea of a twin flame, and a twin flame is one soul being split up and then coming back together in physical life. But to be honest with you, if you really look at yourself, your twin flame would bring up all of your stuff and mirror to you everything, every little crevice of your darkness, and you both learn to accept each other together. It's not this magical, everything is rainbows, butterflies, and happy. There's a deep sense of vulnerability and raw honesty, and it takes a lot of hard work. So you might have to re-identify or relabel what a twin flame might look to you, because if you are really asking for a twin flame, you're asking for a lot of responsibility in your life. Because be careful what you wish for, because they will show you things that you haven't seen for years, and some of it is not pretty. And you have to be in the most mature place to be able to honor and handle a true twin flame. So really feel into if you're really ready for that. And if you're not manifesting it, you might not be ready, because there's a lot of soul work that needs to be done to handle a twin flame relationship. Trust me. Okay, there's my tangent for the day. Okay, so
Let's start counting.
But I say that with all the love in my heart, because I do hope that all of you do get a twin flame opportunity. But know that it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's worth it, but it's a lot of work. Okay, so what I'm getting is for this Jupiter retrograde, you might have some fear and guilt around money. Maybe you made a bad money choice or bad investment, or maybe you spent more than, you had a spending habit that needed to be curtailed. Well, you're going to start feeling that. And you're going to see the way that you're participating in your own bad money areas and avenues in your life. And that you might have to clear a lot of guilt and a lot of fear, a fear of lack, and seeing your own lack mentality in your own poverty consciousness. Now, this is Jupiter and Virgo expansion on Earth and manifesting. And before I pulled these, I wanted to say there was a lot of healing here, but there is a lot of healing here. Not what I thought. It really does look like it has a lot to do with abundance and the fear of the future. And the only way that you're going to be able, and as Mimi was talking about slow down, I pulled this card, the slowing down card. The Great Wall of China wasn't built in a day. You know what I mean? So anything great that you're wanting to build, you got to slow down, do brick by brick to cause a solid foundation for yourself for a new way of showing up around money and abundance. And when that fear and that guilt is just high, and your brain is being racked, and you're just experience so much fear, it's time to turn in, listen to yourself, quiet the mind. And this is all the voices of the mind and the voices of the external, maybe your father's voice going, you need a stable job and you need to do this. And it's okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for everybody's opinions, but you have to tune in, slow down, and put one foot in front of the other, and in a true Virgo manner, manifest one step at a time, one beautiful, one beautiful thing. You can't get too ahead of yourself. And from the goddesses, I picked Irene, which is peace. There's no need to worry, as everything is working out beautifully. So it's a new relationship around worry and trusting that you are going to be able to live in abundance again and forgive yourself for old mistakes around your money. Yep, I'm good.
All right. So next we have the moon shifting into Capricorn, and that is on Friday, the 8th. And the moon in Capricorn is preparing us for the new moon on Saturday. And so this really is, again, the time of the dark of the moon. We have so much energy this week that's pushing us like within, with the retrogrades and the dark of the moons, like looking within. And two of the cards, actually three of the cards, I'm going to just show, I pulled the Master, Adventure, and Intensity. I feel like sometimes we avoid that deep work within because of the intensity. The intensity of having to face our lack mentality. I know that's something I have to look at in my life all the time. Living with my mom, oh my God, it's so abundant. It's so huge. We had an argument about it. And I've been working with myself, carrying this energy for years. And we all have it. It's like, to some extent, it's been passed down. My mom's, she was born during World War II, after the Great Depression, like they had to, be, I don't know if they had to be, but they were called upon to be very frugal with their food, with their soap, with everything. And she has continued that into now, like big time. We have to be willing, though, to face the intensity of what it feels like within. I love this adventure card because I feel like it's reminding you this can be an adventure. You can magic school bus yourself. You can get in there. It's not always going to be sunshine and roses, like Nicole said. But if you get in there, do that inner work. We get to this card, the Master. That's where it comes from, by knowing yourself inside and out, recognizing. It doesn't mean you're going to show up as perfect. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have outbursts. It doesn't mean that things aren't going to drive you crazy. It's just about knowing who you are, knowing where that stuff is, and turning it back. I love the word responsibility, or the two words responsibility, because I feel like that's the ultimate Capricorn energy, is honoring your personal responsibility to whatever's coming up. And so with these cards, I really feel like it's honoring your individual responsibility to whatever's coming up inside you, whatever you're being called upon to work through, to look at. You may get signals from, everything that's going around you. Everything that's going around you is always pointing you somewhere within. So be willing to take that adventure within. And from the goddesses, or not the goddesses, I'm not doing the goddesses this week. From Angel Therapy, I pulled Archangel Michael. It says you're working very closely with a powerful archangel who's protecting and guiding you. Archangel Michael, this may be a call to, cut some of these energies. For me, I love cutting the cords. I use Archangel Michael to cut those cords. Maybe cut the cords to like some of those old issues when you feel like you've processed them. See how the angels are guiding you. Tune into the help. I feel like the cards that I keep pulling, I pulled fairies, pulled Archangel Michael. The energies are here to assist you. Use them in doing your work. Consciously use them as you're doing your work. Nicole?
Yeah, so what I'm getting, and the big card that is popping out for me is the conditioning card, and it's in reverse. And I believe that in a regular tarot deck, this would be the Devil card, which is Capricorn. Not to say that Capricorn's a devil, but that's in traditional tarot. That's the ruler of it. And what I love about the Osho deck is it's showing that it's not the devil. It's just your own conditioning and your own narrow viewpoint because of the stories that were passed down to you, a lot of what you inherited within your family generational line, and what you were told to believe. And those things hold you back. They repress you. They repress the real being that lives inside of you, this light, this spark of life that you have that isn't bound by rules. So you have to decide who you're choosing to be. This Capricorn energy is telling you with this, the moon under there, that subconscious of what is holding you back, what is holding you into a sheep-like mentality, and what do you truly believe, what feels right, what is in your knowing. And that is to dive deep into finding that inner voice inside. You may have shut it off somewhere, or someone may have shut it off because they thought they knew better for you. Well, this is my permission slip to you in this Capricorn moon, is to reignite that inner voice within you and start talking to what you actually believe, not what the news is telling you, not what your parents told you, but what makes you feel empowered and strong within yourself. And with that, it's melting. I have the isolation card, which is melting away fear.
All right. Well, I think she was going to say melting away fear. I hope that she comes back. Technology, Mercury retrograde. And while we are waiting to see if she comes back, I will dive into the next. I will go into Mercury. Mercury also moves back into Capricorn on Friday. So Mercury is retrograde, moving back into Capricorn. And the cards I pulled, the first card.
Am I back?
You're back. There you are. Finish.
So where did I leave off?
Melting fear.
Yeah, so melting that fear, melting that isolation away by compassion, by love, by forgiveness and acceptance. And then I see success. I see success for you in general, but I also see success in reconnecting with different parts of yourself. And I have the rhythm and cycles card, which is saying honor this cycle. It might be I don't think it's a downslope. I just think that you might have to go into things and melt away things that you didn't want to look at for a while to find that inner voice within you. So honor this cycle of your body, and honor if you need a little rest, because your body might be exhausted for fighting all of these false beliefs.
Yeah. Technology.
Mercury retrograde. We're going with it.
Yeah. All right. So Mercury back into Capricorn. So the first card that I pulled for this, that I think I love it. I pulled the playfulness card. And you know what's so funny is that people don't necessarily think of playfulness when they think of Capricorn. Capricorn does have that, I'm going to show up and we get it done. We have to do this. It has that reputation. But something that I learned a long time ago about Capricorns is as Capricorns mature, they actually bring more and more playfulness into their lives. And so I think this may be kind of the energy of Mercury retrograde as well, going through Capricorn, is reminding you how much playfulness can feed into your journey of manifestation, in bringing in your purpose, in showing up as responsible to this world. When you're playful, your heart is open, you're in joy. You're like, whatever comes, you're like, okay, I can handle that. I can play with that. And I think that's one of the things with Mercury retrograde is to not take things so seriously. Yes, it's a key to maybe cross your T's, dot your I's. You may not want to sign contracts, because it can get really crazy. But it's also a call to have patience, have fun, You know, go with the flow, just like we just did with, you know, we know this happens during Mercury retrograde. It's not a big deal. Be playful. And that is going to help your receptivity bring in manifestations, because you're just going to be having fun. You're just going to be enjoying yourself. And it's going to help your transformation. You know, Mercury retrograde, it's going to, you know, come back and play with Pluto again. Pluto in Capricorn is helping us all shift our structures. And I think this is one of the most important things in shifting our structure, is bringing that love vibration, bringing that inner child vibration, bringing that fun playfulness vibration back into our lives. And that vibration is one of being open. We're all just being called to open, even as we're going inward. I'm such a Sagittarius. Even as we're going inward, we're still expanding. It's like the universe. It's always expanding. And that being said, from Angel Therapy, I pulled crystals. The energy of crystals support you and help you with your present situation. It's so funny. Like I said, all of these Angel Therapy cards are about the help that you can get through this transit. Be like a child. I had a friend come over the other day who had no experience with crystals. And I just was like, feel this one. Feel what it feels like. What do you get from it? And he loved it. He was so like enamored by it. He went home with some of my crystals and play with them. Be a child. Be open. What is the crystal saying to you? Do you hear it whispering to you? Listen to them. Be playful. Let the earth help you in this process. Nicole?
I wish I had more playful cards. So here we go. With this new moon in Capricorn, you're being...
This is Mercury back in Capricorn.
Oh, Mercury in Capricorn. Sorry, not new moon.
Not yet.
Next. Do these? Hold on. Let me see if these are new moon, or because I did these with the intention of new moon. Hold on. Are these the new moon cards? All right. Let me pull them real quick. Those were new moon cards. I'm gonna do Mercury
back in Capricorn.
Okay. Maybe that's why they didn't. Okay. Oh, they are more playful. The Innocence card. So I have the Innocence card. So Mercury in Capricorn is telling you to look at the little things again. So look at the earth in a different way, because that Capricorn energy is very earth-like. So the master may be in the simplicity, because the master, we're going into this master degree, and when it goes back into Capricorn, because Mercury is in retrograde, we're in the 29th degree. And the master of Capricorn is telling us to simplify our life, because if we don't, we're going to stress ourselves out. If you have too many balls in the air, too many ideas, too many things going on, this might be the lesson of the Mercury retrograde in itself, is to simplify, simplify, simplify. Choose one idea. And then once you have the one idea, which is, here's the one card, the existence card. Once you have that one idea, then you can put all your creativity into one idea instead of trying to spread it all over the place. So find the one that inspires you the most, and it might be the simplest idea. And once you have that idea, see like a child, like Mimi was saying, see like the eyes of a child. And see it as to explore it, to see if you can find the wisdom in the simplicity of that one idea. But you don't want to do too many. You're going to, I'm telling you, you're going to stress yourself out. And for the goddesses, they're both kind of saying the same thing. This is the go outside card. Maybe the simplicity is being inspired by nature itself, that you don't have to do anything other than just relax. Did I lose you again? I think I lost you again. Bummer. But going outside and regrouping and grounding to nature. Hopefully, Mimi got it. I hope I'm the one that's lost and not Mimi. All right. Since I don't see Mimi, maybe I should go ahead and keep going. Because I'm not getting an announcement that's saying it's mine. So I'm going to keep going. And if we come back to her, then great. So the next thing that we have, which I already was about to pull cards on, is the new moon in Capricorn. There we go. Hey.
I'm back.
No, it wasn't me. I was like, oh God, is it me again? Should I keep talking? So I just kept talking. So I didn't get there yet. So now we're having all this stuff around this new moon in Capricorn. Oh, boy. Okay, go ahead, Mimi.
New moon in Capricorn. So the new moon in Capricorn is happening on Saturday at 5:05 p.m. Did I get that right? I feel like everything's happening at 5:05 p.m. right now. So yes, no, 5:30 p.m. Totally wrote down the wrong time. 5:30 p.m. Pacific on January 9th. And it's happening at 19 degrees. And I'm going to read the Sabian symbol because I think it's so perfect with the cards that I pulled. So the Sabian symbol, a 5-year-old child carrying a bag filled with groceries. And the key notes with this is rising to the occasion when asked to assume social responsibilities ahead of one's normal development. And I feel like this is kind of feeding in to the cards that we just pulled about reclaiming your innocence, reclaiming your child. Like, you know, the nature of the world for many people is that of taking a lot of responsibility on as a child. I'm thinking of a specific friend that we both have that took on so much responsibility, and now she's a little bit older and she's like reworking herself with that. And with that comes morality and guilt. You know, we were given these responsibilities as a child that weren't in alignment with our soul. We're not in alignment with that playfulness. We're not in alignment with that innocence. And we have carried that, kind of like the birding card. We've carried that with us. And it has been weighing us down. It feels like this. It feels like I have to show up like this for the world. If not, you get this guilt. Like, I'm not showing up. I'm not doing what I'm here to do. And that's smushing your spirit. It's smushing your abundance. It's smushing your ability to be the light you're here to be in the world. So this new moon is time to look at the responsibility that has been put on yourself and how you can let go of that guilt. And again, take a page from that, that Mercury in Capricorn thing, rework it, transform it. This may be a moment-to-moment thing. It's going to be a process. It's not going to just happen overnight. It's not going to be, oh, I recognize that I took on these responsibilities. There they go. It's going to be a process. But it's a process that we're working through that begins now. And the new moon, it is a time of manifesting, but it is the beginning of a cycle. So you have like the next 6 months until the full moon in Capricorn, which happens during Cancer time, to really work through this and with this energy. And obviously, with Mercury in Capricorn, that was feeding into this, reminding us we have this time to go back and bring back that innocence, bring back that playfulness. And that's really going to help with your manifesting. It's going to help with your abundance. And the other card that I pulled is the manifestation power. Use your spiritual gifts and natural abilities to attract your desired outcome. First, we need to look. What are you taking on for the world that's not your responsibility, that's not your job? I think I have to look at this. I'm living with my mom. I was complaining to Nikki earlier how she's asking me to take stuff on, and I'm like, you need to step up. I feel like from the time I was a child, I took things on. I took on that responsibility. I came with like this guilt of like, I have to take care of my mom. I have to take care of her. And now I'm like, no, wait. You're an adult. You can take care of yourself. You are able. You can do this. I think that's kind of one of the things as healers. As healers, a lot of us will take on other people's things, That's how we think we're worthy. And there's that call to be like, hey, you don't have to be the hero in everybody's life. In fact, you're more of a hero when you remind them that they have the power to step up. So don't take on, don't think you have to take on other people's things. Other people's responsibilities, your parents, your siblings. Tune into you. Tune into your guides. You'll know what's right. You'll know the areas that's right to step up, and you'll know the times where it's right to step back. And let go of the guilt. You are holding space exactly as you're meant to. Nicole?
Honestly, I have very similar cards, and it's very similar messages you with this one, Mimi. So what you're being called upon to be is the creator, and I also have the independence card. It's really trusting yourself, and who you are, and the creating that you're doing. And notice if you are creating from those old projected stories that people put on yourself, or the responsibility, as Mimi was saying, that you had to hold. And notice that you have now the ability as an adult to choose the way that you would like to create in the world, not in the way that others. Because I feel like you are either projecting, or other people have projected an image onto you that is giving you a lot of turmoil. You have to be somebody that you're not, or you have to have a career that you don't love, or you have to be with somebody because there's a belief that your parents have that divorce was evil. So notice what stories and responsibilities you're taking on to live your life that aren't your own. Because right now, you might have some external fighting and a whole lot of internal fighting to break free from old beliefs. You know, I mean, we do still have all this stuff, Saturn and Sagittarius going on at the same time with all these beliefs. And that is working with this energy of Capricorn going, you need a new vision of yourself. So if you want to put out new intentions, put out the new intention of who you look like, who you need to be to really manifest the mastery of your life. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's your responsibility for yourself. You don't have to take on everybody else as a responsibility. You have to take on yourself as a responsibility and be the creator that you want to be, not creating things that other people think you should. So your vision should be about you. Maybe not what you actually want to manifest as yourself, or manifest for yourself, but who you want to manifest yourself to be. Who do you have to be to have what you want? That's one of those old adages, and I love that. It's like, show up as the creator being, and that you can handle the dreams that you want, and the universe will deliver what you can handle.
Love it. I love that. I think that's so perfect too with my cards for Moon in Aquarius. The moon shifts into Aquarius on Sunday, January 10th. And I pulled such Uranus Aquarius cards. So Aquarius. I pulled Breakthrough, the Outsider, and the Rebel. And I feel like this just takes Nicole's message that she just had a step further. You know, the Rebel, breaking out of who everybody thought you should be, showing up as who you can be, who you want to be in your life. The outsider, I think a lot of us haven't shown up as who we really are because we're like, oh, I'm going to feel like the outsider. I'm not going to fit in. But how many of us feel like we fit in anyways? I mean, I think out of like 95% of readings that I give people, they feel like the outsider. You know, I'd love to find somebody who feels like they fit in the world, because I haven't found anybody who actually feels like they fit in. And we hold ourselves away from who we can be because we feel like we don't fit in. I feel like that's why we don't fit in, because we're just not owning who you are. Because as soon as you do that, as soon as you let yourself be that, it's like everything comes into your life just as you want it to be. It's an amazing breakthrough. It's a breakthrough of the heart. It's a breakthrough of your life. It's a breakthrough of your vibrational energy. And that's so Aquarius. All of this is so Aquarius. Be who you are. When you are you, when you show up as you, you are showing up in service for the world. And so I think this is like kind of the message of these cards. Be you. The world will adjust. Be you. The world will love you. Be you. You'll find your tribe. And that being said, from Angel Therapy, I pulled Shield Yourself. Protect yourself from harsh or fear-based energies by envisioning a cocoon of healing light surrounding you. I feel like a lot of times we don't step up into who we are because, again, there's the people in our lives who don't accept us. Maybe it's parents, maybe it's siblings who are like, you're gonna behave like that, you're gonna have pink hair. I can't tell you how many times my sister, she would be like, really? And it affected me so much, and I can't tell you how many times it, shut me down. And I feel like this is what this card is here for. Like, hey, there are still gonna be the haters. It's not like you're gonna be you and the haters are gonna go away. There's always gonna be haters. But shield yourself. Don't let that stop your light. Call on your helpers. Again, call on your power animals. Call on all the help that's being offered for you as you, retrograde in and then show up even more as you. Nicole?
It's interesting because it's true. Most people don't fit in. And I think people hide. I saw that in high school a lot, is people pretended to be people that they weren't. So they had the illusion of fitting in. But the funny thing is like Mimi said, the only way to fit in is to be yourself. But I don't know if we'll ever fully fit in, but more like a puzzle. You'll fit. You'll fit in as the whole.
Do you have it too? Oh my God.
And this is why I'm saying this, is because you have to fit in like the puzzle. You have to fit in, be your piece. Don't look over at the other piece and they have an innie and an outie and like a puzzle. You know what I mean with the puzzle. And go, oh, that puzzle piece looks really cool. I should be that way. No, be your in. Be a 4 in. I don't know, whatever you are. Be your puzzle piece because you have that piece that makes the whole picture complete. Don't put these wackadoo expectations on yourself that you need to be this girl's looking at this vision of herself as this woman who's being ravished by a man, and maybe she just needs to be this alone single woman out in the world on her new adventure, and really absorb that and be that piece of the puzzle instead of this luscious older woman that she's not yet. So because at the end of the day, you're only going to hurt yourself. You're only going to isolate yourself, and you're only going to feel that pain of what you're not instead of the joy and the celebration of who you are right in the moment. And you won't be able to hear your guidance. If you are pretending to be someone else that you're not supposed to be, they can't guide you into something that you're going to like doing because you're not even connected to yourself and who you are. And then in turn, you're not connected to your guidance system because you're not going to believe what they want you to do. No, that's not my vision. I don't know what they're talking about. You won't believe the guidance trying to come to you because you're thinking you're someone you're not. For the goddesses, I'm getting, find your peace. Find the peace within yourself. I'm getting this card again. And there's no need to worry. Everything's working out beautifully. Stop trying to be someone you're not. Just be yourself. And then I have the fertility card. It's a perfect time for you to start new projects, ideas, and give birth to new conditions of your life. And the only way to birth new conditions of your life is to accept where you're at in your life. And one of the first things that I start with all of my clients is they have an idea. I open the map of life, right? Here's the map of life. And they'll tell me where they think they are at the map of life. So I go, okay, you think you're here. And then I start listening to them. And then I go, okay, we're here. This is where we're really at. And when I can find where you're really at, then we can start healing. Then we can start moving forward. Because you think you might be all the way over here on the map, but really you're a beginner. Or you might think I need a lot more time. And I'm going, you're ready, my dear. You are ready. Let's go. Let's not make excuses anymore. So you got to find out where you are actually on the map, not what your mind is telling you to keep you safe or isolated. You might be more ready than you think. Or you might need to take more time and slow down. But everyone's going to be an individual. I can't tell you, I can't sit there and be like, hey, all of you are a beginner. because at the same time, all of you are a beginner and all of you are a master at the same time. But the beginner of what and the master of what? I don't know. That's all up to you. That's all based off of what you've learned in other lifetimes and what you've learned in this lifetime. So that's it. That's all I have for that one.
Excellent. Well, that's the week. Just that.
Just all of that.
You want to mention your class? You have a few more days to sign up for your class, yeah?
Yeah, I have 1 week. My class starts on Wednesday, next Wednesday, the 13th, and we are doing the artist way. This is a really good way to find out who you are and where you are on your map, because this is a journey of self-discovery through creativity. How fun is that? So you're opening up yourself to your creative channel and releasing a lot of blocks, but also on a very beautiful path of self-discovery, what type of creativity that you are best suited for, and also building your confidence to put your self-expression out into the world. And we have a blast doing it. I take you through a lot of tools, a lot of exercises, and we also get a bit creative, and we have a massive amounts of fun, but it's also very deep. It's not surfacey. I'm not gonna lie to you. You are gonna go into some core parts of yourself, but it's beautiful. Lots of blossoming.
It's a totally great class. I highly recommend it. All right, so that's it for this week. Book readings. We are available for you, all over the place. GaiaBlooming.com, NicoleOmen.com is where you can sign up for the class. Check us out on Instagram. I've been quiet on there, but Nicole posts almost every day her daily guidance. So that is it for today. Have a beautiful week. Don't stress about Mercury retrograde. Be playful with the delays.
Go with the flow.
Yes. All right, that's it. Namaste.
Namaste.